Coming to you from Club Maracas right here in Queens, New York. Of course, the opening act for this evening's performance, the man himself, Logan. Now, Logan, you're very, very special because you are one of the few, if not the only person doing Raga Soca.
I just feel blessed to be in New York, being Trinidadian descent, coming from Toronto, to have the opportunity to open up for Machel Montano at Maracas nightclub. Is the biggest nightclub in New York. From what I've heard, it's a blessing and I appreciate that. I do sing Raga Soca, the only Indian cutting it right now, so it's sick, I love it.
Give me an idea what Raga Soca sound like for the people who don't know.
Well, people just ask me what type of music I sing, and I doesn't know what to tell them. They just be like, what, you're a chutney artist? I say, nah. What, you sing reggae? Yeah. You sing soca? Yeah. But I sing a mix-up. I sing an island vibe, you understand? So I don't know if you will, what, you want to give you a vibe?
A couple
so we go like this. Look at all the girl, look how them sweeter. Look at all the girl, look how them do it. Wind up your body to the bass and the tweeter. Better than a model from a fashion magazine. Have a girl, yes, look so fine. Proud to be mine. Ever ready like a battery, come give me the wine. When I see you, baby, like me, eyes gone blind. But it have some girl that a stiff man mine. Move up them body with the snake oil wine. Solitary when they moving like a feline. Cut up me, I throw it in a turbine. But I have a question when I look to the sky. Why girl just come around and tell lie? Wine to the rhythm, look me na me. I have to ask the question, well, why do I want you as my lady? Why? Vibes, just vibe.
How difficult it is to learn something like that?
I've grown up in Trinidad all my life. I love my chutney music. I know real chutney artists, but I take to reggae and I take to soca, and it just comes as a natural vibe.
You feeling any pressure tonight? I mean, to open for Machel is a big deal, so it means you going to set the pace. You're going to amp the people up and get them ready for even more. But in your own right, you have that space for yourself as well to make your mark.
Definitely. I feel a little pressure, but I feel a little calm because how I see myself and my performance is I am the calm before the storm. If you understand what I'm saying. So I will set the pace to a level, but Machel is the man, you understand, and he will bring the storm. But I'm excited and I'm taking every day one at a time and just moving forward, man. I love the music and I love the vibe.
Thank you so much. The man is Logan. Of course, you're going to see what this man could do in a little while. They're coming to you right here from Maracas in Queens, New York. You're watching Win TV.
New York! How you mean? Ha!
You ready? Of course, we're coming right to you from here at Club Maracas in Queens, New York. And I don't know how to describe you as the mechanic in the engine room or the man driving the truck at the HD family. The man himself, Mr. Colonel Roberts. How you going?
I'm alright, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Another year again after God's grace. Yeah, Labor Day 2011. Looking fine style.
Does Labor Day start to more or less prepare you for Carnival in a lot of ways because of the Caribbean presence that is here, and it's very, very near to what Carnival is going to be like in Trinidad?
Yeah, well, Labor Day, well, actually the preparation for Carnival the following year does actually start with me immediately after Carnival. But what Labor Day does do is brings the sense of closeness to how close around the corner Trinidad Carnival is again. So Labor Day does bring this set of kind of nails biting, kind of nerve-wracking feeling that Kush boy Carnival coming, so it's time to, you know, pump a little harder.
It almost here. You could give us just a tiny little insight as to what 2012 going to be like?
Well, 2012, after a successful year this year, after God Thank God, you know, we won Machel and myself, we won Soca Monarch and Road March. You know, 2012, to me, I trying to go for 3 titles in a row because I had balance in 2010, then this year was Advantage, and next year I trying to see if I get the Triple Crown. So, you know, I working hard with Machel, you know, and the whole team, and we beating it hard for that next year. So hopefully it will be a majestic year again next year, you know, as I always try to do with all my works in the past, and, you know, in the future I'm looking to continue that drive of success and consistency, you know.
A hard working man. When do you take your vacation?
Well, in between, I just like work and play, you know. I just try because you don't really get vacation in this business.
Yeah.
I mean, people might think it's vacation traveling all over the world, but that's like a job that is work.
That's work.
Because it's what I hate to do is get in there to the place. Like when I leave Trinidad to come to New York or wherever in the world, I hate leaving my bedroom. You see the time between leaving my bedroom to lying down on my bed in the hotel, everything in the middle. I wish I could just press a button and just time warp and travel through, you know what I mean? Just walk through a circle and come out in your hotel room. So, you know, and a lot of other things on the road, you know, traveling, the transport, the gigs, the shows, the backstage, everything, you know what I mean? The lights.
Of course, one of the main components of this, as is the nature of this business, is the fans. Everybody wants to say hello. Everybody wants to talk to you to find out how you're going, you know.
Well, I guess, you know, that comes with the territory of this job. So, you know, you have a lot of tolerance for that. And, you know, we love our fans. So, you know, I never have a problem with the fans coming up to me and approaching me anytime, any day, whether down, whether up. You know what I mean? It's all good. Always our time for the fans, all the time.
Well, you have to go and work really, really hard in a little while, so I'm going to let you take a little break, walk around, relax, play some games.
Play some games. And like how set up Maracas, you don't know Club Maracas, we Win TV, you don't know the whole team, we love all the Win TV. Blessing Colonel Roberts here from New York Labor Day 2011. Oh, done.
So of course, it's the man himself, Colonel Roberts. More to come. You're watching Win TV. We're coming to you from Maracas in Queens, New York. You know, one of the wonderful things about working with Win TV and of course covering any event at Maracas is there are so many talented people coming through. Of course, the man himself, Kai Prasad, how you doing?
I'm very good, man. I'm totally ecstatic. It's Labor Day weekend in New York City, man.
You know, everybody was talking about how Labor Day for them more or less starts to prep them for 2012 in Trinidad. What is 2012 in Trinidad for you looking like from now?
I mean, 2012, looks like a very promising year. Well, I hope it's going to be a very promising year. We have so many big things planned for 2012, so many bridges we want to cross that we haven't so far. So that's working on it, myself, KI, my band, JMC Trevini, and the entire Win Communications family.
No, you know, I always keep telling you, if you need a little backup singer or anything, just let me know, you know, so I can...
So, because you have friends who could sing.
Oh! You see it? You see what you have to take for this job?
It might look good, but it sure feels great.
When the stars passing through it, you have to take a little pinch to, you know, but we are so looking forward to 2012 from UNGMC and everybody's excited. When are you performing in Maracas next?
I think we're planning something for Thanksgiving in Maracas coming up and then, you know, heading straight into the Carnival 2K12 season. I must say kudos and hats off to all the artists, all the Caribbean artists, especially Trinidad and Tobago artists who have been working so hard, stepping up the game, and I'm sure everybody could see that we have been literally taking it to the next level, and hopefully next year it's just going to get a bit further to where we really want to reach on that international stage.
We won the Grammy. Somebody have to bring him a Grammy.
Trust me, we're going to get a Grammy. You know what? Rome wasn't built in a day. And it's going to happen, man.
You heard it from the man himself. Now, you know, if you're the person to bring the Grammy home, I get in the first interview for Win TV.
Of course, man, for sure. Nell and Win Communications.
You heard the promise right here. You're watching Win TV. We are bringing you Labor Day 2011 from right here at Maracas in Queens, New York.
New York City.
Of course, at Maracas, New York, as I was just talking to KI and to Colonel earlier, I was talking about how many talented people pass through here. And of course, one of the most talented soca artists in the universe, the man himself, Machel Montano. How you doing?
I'm good. Very flattered. Thank you very much.
I'm not flattering you, it's the truth.
Well, so said, so done.
You know, many people are talking about how 2012 is just around the corner, but Labor Day for a lot of artists is more or less their turning point. What does Labor Day do for you to get you in gear for 2012?
Well, I mean, it's more like the middle point for me, you know. You go through all the early carnivals, and then you meet Labor Day, which is the strong middle, and then you have Miami Carnival, which is really the end. And you know, to me, I like to focus on each moment individually. So I wouldn't really place, you know, Labor Day in relation to 2012 because it's still 2011.
Yeah.
And you know, you come into these places and your mind is already in 2012 as an artist. You know, once we're in 2011, that's when we record, that's when we get ready for 2012. So it's sort of a catch-22. But it's a bit unfair to start to think about Trinidad Carnival when you ain't touched New York and you ain't touched Miami.
You don't want to rush, but you don't want to pull back too much either.
Yeah. So you have to just let it ride and you know, experience New York as it is. New York fans are solid, they're unique. You know, we in Brooklyn one night, last night we in Queens tonight, you know, next night we dealing with the tri-state area. So, you know, you really have to feel out all your fans, and you know, what you get from them is always a surprise. Always New York bring mad inspiration, so you have to be alert. I don't want to think about next year yet.
How much inspiration do you get from New York when you're going forward? Because you talk about being inspired by New York, but what I don't think you realize is how much you inspire New York as well.
Well, I mean, it's a give and take, and it's an equal share, because, you know, I got songs like Ramajé in New York. You know, a lot of my big songs came from actually being in New York, and from New York Carnival and from the ideas of New York. So I like to keep it unique. You know, I believe in every moment, and every moment has its strength. And in a city like this, you know, that is so full of, you know, diversity and so much flavor, you gotta keep your eyes open.
What would you do if you didn't participate in a carnival in any given year? What would be the one thing you would want to do if you didn't do carnival?
I mean, if I didn't perform if I didn't do carnival, and as I read, that means that I had no performances and no carnivals. You know, I would love to go to every carnival and just be a spectator.
And observe,
you know, I would love to observe as many as possible, all if possible. There's so many of them that happen in the same weekends and at the same times. You know, I would really love to experience that. You know, 1 or 2 years, take 2 years off and do the full circuit. Because, you know, I'm a listener and I'm an observer, and I want to observe and listen and learn and really feel where people are at. You know what I mean? I love to learn. Yeah, for me it's always encouraging.
Well, I don't want to stress your voice too much, because I know you have to go in there and make people lose their voices screaming to you singing. But thank you so much for your time. We're looking forward to your performance tonight. We are rushing forward but still holding back for 2012. We're excited. We're looking for it. And of course, we're coming to you. This is Labor Day 2011 from Maracas, Queens, New York. Of course, this is the man himself, Machel Montano. The HD family is here.
Yeah, in the building.
And we're moving forward. You're watching Win TV. You have seen performances, but I don't think you've seen performances like this before. Patrice, you were out there, and of course I always say this every time I interview you, I could be at my last. And when I hear Rollin', how do you do it?
Actually, Rollin' is everybody's favorite song. It's my favorite song as well. You know, it's written by Colonel Roberts, and Colonel Roberts is indeed a phenomenal writer. You know, every single year I look forward to actually performing his music, because it kind of brings joys to my heart. You know, so I could only imagine what the fans feel and what you feel.
When you swing your hands, I know that if I'm going up a hill, I could go because of rolling up the hill.
Thank you very much. Don't worry,
Thank
next year when I'm big.
you so much for a wonderful performance. What is 2012 going to be like for you?
I kind of thinking about what I want to do. Definitely, I want to be different. You know, away from what people know Patrice Roberts to be. I want to be more mature. I mean, I'm growing into to become a young adult. You know, I'm not that little shy child anymore. So I want to kind of have more mature music. You know, to touch the soul of the people and the young people as well. You know, who are really look up to me as an artist, as a person, you know, but just different music in general.
Based on what you said, I think we could definitely look forward to somebody who is going to touch people more and let us see her a lot more.
Definitely for me, this time is going to be some like music that I really love. I really love the music I'm doing now, but I'm really going to sing and actually make people touch.
Yeah, man,
definitely.
Thank you so much. It's Labor Day here in New York. You all back in Trinidad are missing so much. I mean, I know you have Patrice for Carnival, but we just had her for Labor Day and it was wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Keep tuned. You're watching Win TV. Labor Day 2011 right here at Maracas in Queens, New York, of course, could not have been put together with the HD performance without these phenomenal dancers. Tell me, when you start to feel as if your energy is dipping in the show, how do you pick it back up?
We look at Machel, man.
How about you?
It have no dipping. Once you move in Machel, you can't dip.
So you think I could learn some of those steps?
Yeah, man. I mean, anybody, I want to teach you. I want Brittany to teach you.
Well, I was about to say, I saw what Brittany did, and I know that if I did what Brittany did, I would be working from the hospital. Brittany, how do you do that and do it every night and keep going?
A little stretching and a little bit of alcohol.
of course, is from Trinidad. So you all are looking forward to 2012. I mean, Labor Day, of course, is Labor Day, but you're just looking forward to 2012 and what Carnival will bring?
2012 is looking forward to us.
You have just witnessed what 2012 is, of course, going to be looking forward to. Oh gosh, you sure?
Stamp on it, 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 stamp on it.
Labor Day 2012, Maracas, New York. You're watching Win TV. Another member of the HD family, the man himself, Zan. 2 hours. And you just said you're okay, you could keep going.
Custom training hard, you know what I mean? It's a normal thing for me every day, 90 minutes hard training, even more regular than being on a stage, you know? So it's all good. I can go again.
You heard him here. I was asking the dancers, you know, if there's a point in the show when you feel like you get a little tired, you feel like if you need to pick it back up. And they said for them, if they feel that they even begin to dip, they look at Marshall. What do you do to keep your energy level that high?
I mean, it's generally the same thing. And, you know, even I look at them sometimes to look for the energy because they have such high energies as dancers and the vibe. Sometimes it might come from the music. Sometimes the band going at you. And, you know, it all depends, you know. But, you know, we feed off each other energies. That's a general case.
So with Labor Day coming up and that sort of thing, and of course everybody's looking forward to 2012, but we don't want to rush it just yet. What's in store for Zan for 2012?
Well, you know, I'm in the studio again, real heavy, more than before, doing some new recordings, coming up with some new stuff, like dropping like almost every week is my plan. That's my new plan. I want to drop like every week. Yeah.
So this is going to be a big album with varied tracks.
Yeah, varied tracks. You know, maybe we might do it like the last time when we have the AG family as a, you know, a consecutive thing or our own contingency releases. Marshall has an album coming out. I'm working on it, First Class. We have Dangerous, we have Darian Bailey. We have some serious people working on our albums, as well as mine and Patrice's and Farmers. Yeah.
Well, Zan, thank you so much for a wonderful, spirited performance. All the best and enjoy your Labor Day.
I will, trust me.
Of course, there's so much more coming. The HD family is here. Labor Day is just around the corner. And as you saw, 2 hours non-stop. And you saw it here at Win TV. We're coming to you from Queens. It's Maracas Nightclub. The original farmer himself, Nappy, after 2 hours. Do you go home and sleep, or you're just too wound up now to keep going?
Well, carnival time is a time for us go to sleep like 7 o'clock in the morning. And like, this is like carnival weekend, so I'm not going to sleep until about 7 to get up for 1 o'clock to go and do another show.
Yeah. How is Labor Day different to carnival, preparing for it, moving forward and going through the day?
Well, Labor Day is a carnival, you know, but it's just, you don't see as much costume on the road. You know, you see people just coming out and Haitian band, Jamaican band, Trinidad, Barbados, the whole Caribbean. So Labor Day to me is a Caribbean party.
How do you party when you're partying?
I don't party no more.
You're grown up now.
This is my job. This is my job. Actually, you know, if Farmer Nappy, you see Farmer Nappy come out in a party, trust me, there's artists performing or a band. And I love to see musicians, I love to see other bands performing. So you will find Farmer Nappy coming out to see live music instead of just coming out to hang out.
What inspires you the most when you're about to go into the studio to prepare for that next album?
Well, it's God. You know, God inspired me, and I think about my daughter, my one and only daughter. That's my life.
Well, we know Labor Day is around the corner. I want you to go and get at least 1 hour's rest so you could give the people what you gave us here tonight.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Labor Day.
Thanks to you and Trinidad and Tobago and the whole Caribbean. Come on, let us unite, let us travel with one flag.
One flag coming to you from Maracas Nightclub in New York. Of course, so much of what has happened here tonight could not be possible without this lovely lady next to me, Miss Elizabeth Montano. When Marshall first sang Too Young to Soca, what was the first thing that ran through your mind?
Well, Too Young to Soca, by the time he started that, he had been in the business for several years. All right, but at that time it was just pure excitement, and I was looking at him coming on the stage and getting into the adult arena and giving them a real hard time, you know, and it was just excitement.
Being a person with such a strong educational ethic and such a strong educational background, was it easy for you to accept that he wasn't going to be an accountant or a lawyer or a doctor?
I think that's why it was easy for me to accept, because I was a teacher and a school counselor, and I know what it is to encourage children in their interests, and he showed that interest from early. And wherever you go, you are going to be a success, and education is important into any field that you will go into. So here he is 30 years later.
Now, of course, you have your own grandchildren now that you're making sure they pursue their own education, and as exciting as Labor Day is, you have said you have to leave here to get back in time for your granddaughter's first day of school. What is that going to be like for you?
Well, it's going to be real excited, because first to begin, she came in the top 100, and she's going to SAGS, and she's very excited, and I know she's going to be a great success, so I have to be there for her.
Now, you are not only a manager and a mother to Marshall, you're also a mother to this entire group. You are the person that keeps them together. How do you deal with such varying personalities coming from different family backgrounds?
Well, some of them, I was their guidance officer, like Farmer Nappy in the 1980s. I met Farmer when he was very small, and then I was encouraged by their enthusiasm. And again, I worked with children all my years, so that I knew, you know, how to deal with it. And then being educated in that field, I know how to treat with children as individuals or children coming from different groups. So it was just, you know, easy for me.
And of course, before I let you go, because you have a heavy day tomorrow and of course a late flight, what advice would you give to parents whose children would like to pursue the same path that Marshall did and not something traditional? Because ours is a society that really encourages people, you know, to pursue the traditional path, and you have kids who are coming up who have a wealth of talent whose parents, because they don't want them to be unhappy or to fail, might push them away from it towards something more secure.
The first thing I have to tell parents, they have to remember, first of all, they had their life, and they were young, and they enjoyed their life. And when they have children, I think it's a parent's duty to make sure that their children are taken care of and reared properly. And I think what you have to do very early in your child's life, you have to observe your children from small. And by 7 years of age, you will know exactly in what direction your children will go. And they are going to be interested in specific things, and you have to encourage them and support them.
Miss Elizabeth Montano, so well said. Thank you so much for all your time, all your hard work. Congratulations once again on bringing forward the HD family to entertain us here in Queens, New York. Have a wonderful Labor Day.
Thank you, and I like to say Malaya Granny is coming, and we're going for them, baby.
Thank you very much.